Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Al's Vintage Toy Trains. I hope you're having a great week. Today I wanted to visit this second set from my sneak preview that I did about 10-11 days ago. This is outfit number 1415WS, cataloged by Lionel in 1946. So this set is headed by a Turbine. It is the 2020 version. The 671 is the O gauge version, and this one is the O-27 gauge version. So they're identical other than the cab number. And like I said, this is dedicated as a O-27 engine. So the unique thing for 1946 is that Lionel introduced smoke for the first time this year. And what's unique about this 46 Turbine is that it uses a heat lamp as opposed to heat coils. So there's actually a lamp with a dimple in it, and it heats the pellet in that dimple and then creates the smoke. So this is the only year that Lionel did that. It was more efficient to use the heating coils that they used in 1947 and on. The other unique thing for this locomotive, as you'll notice, there is no protruding E-unit lever, and it has a unique E-unit in that it is horizontal and is spring-loaded as opposed to gravity pulling down on the pawl. So it's cleaner looking without the lever sticking through the top, and basically you have a wire pin and two positions. I know it's hard to see. See if I can get in there and look a little closer, but you'll see the hole on the left has a pin or plug plugged into it, and that is essentially the same thing as the unit lever, where it allows it to cycle through its three positions. If I were to take that plug and pull it out and move it to the one on the right, it would lock it in either forward or reverse. So that's what's unique about the 1946 Turbine. It's the same thing with the 726. It has that E-unit that is spring-loaded, mounted horizontally. So this one's in nice shape. I was really pleased to see how well it cleaned up. It was pretty dusty. It does have boxes for the engine and tender. The tender is also very clean. Lettering is sharp. And the whistle didn't work until doing a little maintenance and cleaning, but that's all it really needed. With some cleaning, maintenance, a little oil, and it works just fine. So this is the 2020W tender that goes with the 2020 engine. All right, up next, this is the hard to find operating dump car, and this is the aluminum version with the blue lettering. This did not come with the set that I had acquired, but I happen to have had this particular dump car since about 2018, and pretty much waiting to put it in a 1946 set. So there are about 3 different variations or main variations of these dump cars, and this is the first variation in 1946. There are 2 other variations, and I have a couple here on the layout. And the most common variation was black, as you see here, and they also made it in green. So those are the 3 primary variations. The black, I believe, is the most common. Green is not as common as the black, but fairly common. And then the aluminum, unpainted, is the hard one to find. All right. Next up is the 3454 operating merchandise car, and it's kind of unique. It's got a little opening in the top where you can put the cubes in. These are the cubes, and you'll note original cubes will actually say Baby Ruth on them. So here's a close-up of the little packages, and they came in either black, a reddish brown, or red. And these are the ones that I've got. And really the only difference, I think, with the 46 version of this car and the 1947, there's two actually. The blue is a little bit darker on this merchandise car. So this is the 46 version. And here's the 1947 version of the car. Blue is almost the same, but I think this one's a little bit darker. And then the other unique thing between the two to tell the difference between a 46 and a 47, at the end on a 46, you do not see anything, but that little pin that holds the opening here does not protrude to the end in a 1946. But if you look at a 1947, there's the pin protruding out the end. I guess this was a little bit stronger by doing this, and so made the door a little more rigid. And that's really the main difference between a 46 and a 47. And so I don't have this set up on a UCS, but essentially drop the cube in and it loads it up. And by pushing the button on the UCS, it basically has a little solenoid, and we'll pop the packages out for you. So that's the merchandise car. And next, we have the 2465 Sunoco double dome tank car. And 2465 was pretty much a 1946 and 1947 only tank car, and really the numbering is based on the coil couplers. And then they changed the numbering in 1948 when they went to the magnetic couplers. So there's a few variations of this tank car. This is the most common with the decals, and the uncommon one will have gas and oils within the yellow of where it says Sunoco. This is the most common with the Sunoco within the diamond that you see. There's also another variation with the decals where the Sunoco extends slightly just outside of the diamond. In 1947, they went to a stamped version as opposed to the decals. This one's not a 47, but it's a later model from 52. But it is rubber stamped as opposed to decals. So those are some of the variations of the tank cars. And again, this one's the most common. Got another 1946 set. It's identical. Has the same tank car and the same caboose as the one we're looking at now. All right, so that's the tank car. And then lastly, we've got the 2472 non-illuminated caboose. And this was a premium set for O-27. And the only thing really not premium to this set is the caboose, which was pretty common for most of the O-27 sets in 1946. And like I said, I've got a few of the boxes. They're not in great condition at all, but they do have the inserts inside. And got the engine and tender box, along with the double dome tank car and the merchandise car. So I'm missing the box for the caboose and for the dump car. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 1946 catalog. And this catalog's not in the best of shape because it's separated, but there you have the 1946 catalog. And this is where it describes the sets, as well as the price sheet that came with the 1946 catalog. So here's the set. We'll zoom out a little bit. So it is this set here, and again it is Lionel's 1415 WS. And what's unique about the catalog is that you'll see that the merchandise car is like a Tuscan brown. In reality, it came as silver. And then same thing with the caboose. It shows it as like a Tuscan brown, but in reality it was always red. So it was pretty much a silver consist with the unpainted aluminum dump car, the silver merchandise car, and the silver tank car. All right, so there's the catalog, and this set went for $67.50. So that was a very expensive set for the time, and that's because of the operating dump car and the operating merchandise car. So those were premium cars, and like I said, the only thing that really wasn't premium in this set was the caboose. So $67.50 was quite a bit. The most expensive set, I believe, that year was about $85. Most of the sets, O-gauge, were in the $60s and $70 range. And so this was a really nice O-27 set. All right, let's go ahead and put this in operation. And you can see the illumination coming right out of the top. Don't know if we can actually... Can't really see the bulb just because it's so bright, but it's got a huge bulb in the front. And again, there's no protruding E-unit lever sticking out of this thing. All right. Turbines in general are great runners. Kind of like the silver consist that it has. All right, this is Al, and I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great day. Take care, everyone.